Yes, the Coalition for Diverse Decatur and Coalition for Diverse DeKalb came about out of the collective concern of citizens who felt a strong need to have a place where they could live that's affordable, that's close to their place of work, that would allow them to share in a diverse community where you have people working for the city, restaurants, police officers, firefighters, all being able to share in living in a community that's enriched, such as the city of Decatur and the surrounding area. We came together with that specific purpose and also to focus on the policies that prevent um, the addition and the preservation of affordable housing. And we took steps, deliberate steps, over a period of time to address that need and make sure that our leadership understood the importance of having affordable housing. What makes it unique is having a diverse group of individuals come together around a common cause, such as this, because we want what most people want: an affordable place to live, a solid community where you know your neighbors who live near you and work closely with you, and actually can afford to work in the city or county and be able to be close to their place of employment.
One of the interesting pieces about the coalition was the diverse group of people that came together. Never before in our city had we seen such a diverse group come together for a common cause and then stick with it. And I think that that is two pieces of the puzzle, is that the different experiences, the different lived experience, but also different mindset, as well as different talents and different circles of people. So the coalition is a lot larger than those of us who come together regularly, but we've continued to come together regularly for a long time. That certainly caught the attention of the city.
So, as a community, we have started with supporting zoning changes that I have pushed to move forward, including mandatory inclusionary zoning, which does stipulate that future new construction builds that are greater than 5 units require 10% of those units to be affordable, which is a great start, but is certainly not going to be enough. We've also worked as a community to repeal exclusionary zoning, which for us was incredibly meaningful. At a time when our communities were transitioning and our diversity was waning, we lost the ability to have duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes in our community unless they were already standing here. It made it very difficult for people who owned those units to renovate them or to modernize them, and it made it virtually impossible for anyone to build new versions of those. Now that we have changed the zoning ordinance to allow that to be possible in our neighborhoods, we have another tool in our toolbox that will allow us to increase housing diversity and potentially directly affect affordability.
And I live on Drexel Avenue, which has every kind of affordable housing option you can think of. And in our work towards gaining missing middle housing and getting the zoning repealed, I was able to activate my community and get everybody on board because there was a very strong voice against doing that. And so I was really proud of how our community was able to come out and show up. And as a homeowner myself, I wanted to turn my house back into a duplex. It's over 100 years old and used to be a duplex, but that was outlawed. And so now I have that option. And some, people might take advantage of that, but there are so many others who are going to do good things, and we have to allow good things to happen in order for change to occur.
That's right. And while these incremental steps are helpful, they're not enough. We really would like to see more ambitious mandatory inclusionary zoning changes that stipulate even greater numbers of required affordable units in new construction. We would like to see some method of funding to be able to support things like the Decatur Land Trust, which is working to preserve or create permanent affordability in our community, which is going to be critical as land prices continue to increase and building costs continue to skyrocket. For our seniors to be able to stay in our communities, we have to make sure that there are issues that we can handle with taxes, with the increase in taxes that have made living in Decatur prohibitive for some and a struggle for even people like me. I've been here 20 years and I can tell you that while my tax rate has increased 200%, my annual income has not. And I am sure that I am not the only member of the community who is experiencing that pinch. So it's critical that we match zoning with real solutions to be able to marry those together to get real results. Right now, what we're doing is good, but it's absolutely not enough. We need land, we need development, we need space, we need incentives for builders, we need values-based builders and developers who are willing to do this as a part of their company mission and purpose. We need community support to recognize that diversity in our communities is not a bad thing. It actually improves the quality of life and the home values in communities. When you think of Decatur, and specifically these little pockets of Decatur like Oakhurst and like Lenox Park and like downtown, what makes them so great is that we have differing points of view and people with different talents who come together to create the events and to create the family-like atmosphere that we all love here. We cannot do that without diversity, and we can't maintain diversity without affordability.
That's right.
It's impossible.
And one more thing you need are elected officials who support these actions. And Commissioner Meyer has been absolutely key in that. So we need to work to elect leaders who really believe in affordable housing and creating change.
Suggestions that I have for broadening housing choices through zoning reforms is to have a thick skin. That's the first thing. You're going to learn a lot about your neighbors and friends as you work to change the laws for the good. One of the things that I would also recommend you use is get organized. Know your facts. Have a fact sheet. Make sure when you make a call for supporters, have them sign up. Put it on a form so that you have their contact info so that you then can remind them that they have chosen to speak or advocate on behalf of the zoning change.
Sorry. The other recommendation I would have is to control the narrative. We were a little late to the game because we had assumed that we live in Decatur. Everyone in Decatur, why would they not want to have duplexes, triplexes, and quads, diverse folks, and diverse housing opportunities? Well, there are always some people that are not in my backyard. So I would say the first time the opposition, when they went in front of the city council, they controlled the narrative and it was very negative. And there were a lot of disinformation that was being spread. So at the next meeting, we made sure that we were controlling the narrative. And in order to do that, as Wendy said, we got everyone in the coalition, as well as folks from other groups and friends and people who we knew thought that this was really important. And we all showed up and we started off on a positive note. And I really think that that's when we started to get the momentum. So that's what I would say. Definitely control the narrative and dispel all of those myths.
Of course, the most important thing that we have done as a coalition is we keep going. We are looking at ways that we can actually further the housing conversation in Decatur because we realize the work is not done. We want the city of Decatur to know that they are committed citizens. Our citizens are committed to affordable housing and to a diverse community. And so we are willing to roll up our sleeves and continue that work.
And also to hold our city council folks accountable for ensuring that missing middle and the zoning continues to progress in a positive fashion.
Together, we can make a difference.